Leo, Mariah here. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing really well. Of course, it's a pleasure to be here and to be reading for you. Today, this is a really weird reading because a part of me definitely wants to do this and see what's coming in for you for July, but the other part of me is telling me not to do this reading. And I'm not sure as to why. So I want to see, we already are here. I already cut on my camera, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. So tell me, Spirit, what is going on with Leo in the month of July? I'm hearing the phrase, how does it go? I would rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. And now I can visually see like a hearse, like a black hearse. So I do send my condolences if anybody's going through any kind of loss, or maybe you're dealing, or you know somebody that's dealing with a significant legal situation. But it reminds me of you showing up to your own funeral. You seeing the people that are there. It's like what's it called? Is it astral travel? How your spirit just leaves how your spirit can leave your body, even though your body is still unconscious. That's what it feels like. You're able, not saying you may have this gift, but it feels like astral traveling to your own funeral and seeing who's there. I think you're getting, if you haven't already, I think you're getting ready to be exposed to Ten of Swords. I think you're getting ready to be exposed to who really is in your corner, who's not in your corner. You're going to clearly see that. But I think on a larger scope of this, when it comes to your life path, there's definitely a metamorphosis. I think the funeral references that I'm getting is just not literal. I think this is something significant, a big ending that you had to go through. Whether this was a loss of a home, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a family member. Maybe you lost somebody to a legal situation, they're in jail or prison. Maybe this is the death of beliefs or death of a mindset, a way of thinking, or certain habits, patterns, or addictions you may have had. It's like having, literally seeing whatever this thing that has died going into the ground, seeing whatever this thing that has died in its own casket. This is very specific, so I'm sorry if this is not going to resonate with everybody. I don't want to get too dark with this. I promise you I won't. But I think there's a light with this. Because the fact that you're seeing something ending, you can have that definite closure. You know for a fact that, okay, I lost that home, I can't get it back. That is the end of it. Or this person has passed away, I'm always love them, I'm always gonna have them in my heart, but it is, once you see them in the casket, you know this is done, it's definite. Or, you know, maybe you had to lose a job or a career or your finances, and seeing where you're at with that, you just know that that's something you can't go back to. Or even a death of, and maybe more of a, less of a literal way, maybe more of a metaphysical way, a death of a connection, a relationship, a loved one. It's not always literal. Tell me more about this. I'm getting those old, like those old TV shows. Like, you remember MASH, the old like soap operas, the Young and the Restless, even like some telenovas that are coming to mind. So I don't know if there's if this is in regards to like a literal death, if this is somebody that was older, because that may be like their era of TV and genre that they used to watch, or this is just referencing maybe a time frame for somebody. This is really weird. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have turned on this camera. Can you tell me more? We got the, wow. And the High Priestess. I can't tell you how to feel, Leo. I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you how to think. I can't tell you how to process an ending, no matter what that ending was, whether it's a death of a relationship between you and a family, a literal death, whether it's a death to maybe your finances, even maybe a living situation. There's so many different alternative routes, right? But this is not something that's easy to deal with. But this, if it is something that has been literal, like an actual ending to something, this has spiritually affected you in such a strong way. This has soulfully impacted you in a deep way. It's like it's whatever this thing that has died or that has ended, there's a full understanding of closure that this is gone. I will no longer be that kind of person. I put an ending in the death to the old version of me. Or you know what? I know that that living situation was just not stable and wasn't going to do it. So even though it hurt how I had to leave that location and that home, I know that there's a close that I will never go back. It's like something being a definite end with a closure, period, exclamation mark, where there is no way that you can mince words. There's no nuance in between it. You know for certain and for damn sure that that is a done deal. It is over. It's truly over. I want to be cautious with my words, not in the sense if it's a literal death. I'm going to put that to the side. But if this is more so with maybe your circumstances or something that is more metaphysical with your own internalized death, right? The death of who you were and you're rebirthing into somebody new. If this didn't come to the ending that it did, and it feels like you had to be pushed all the way into a corner, or the universe, life has pushed you all the way into a corner, that, because I'm seeing the tower, like the actual tower card, it had to come down. But if it wouldn't have came down maybe in a tragic way or in a chaotic way, I don't know if we would have been able to pivot or transition either in the time frame that we wanted to or needed to, or if we would have even pivoted at all. I don't know if we was, even though it may have been comfortable, and even if that situation didn't serve us, I don't know if we would have fully took a leap of faith. And sometimes when we don't see the signs in advance or make the moves in advance, and sometimes we don't have the ability to, right? Maybe we just don't have the resources. Maybe we don't have the finances. Maybe we don't have the knowledge to. Sometimes we're blocked just by that. We're limited with access that allows us to do and move how we need to. The universe is gonna make way for you, but when the universe has to do it, it ain't easy, it ain't fun, and it's extremely uncomfortable. And I feel like this is the universe. It had to end, and I mean a definite end to something, that it will not be returning. Like, again, I can see a hearse. It's dead in the ground. It's done. I want to see, because again, through that coming to an end, you by the universe scorching your earth, because I feel like I can even envision like a battlefield that after combat, after exchange of battle, is just quiet. You can see the dust and the debris in the air, and there's nothing moving. But this is the new foundation that's needed to rebuild life in the way that you want it to be. So you may be starting off right now from ground zero in some way. Whether you're starting off with zero finances and having to rebuild, whether you're starting off in a new state, country, or location and you have no roots, you have no grounding, and you're having to rebuild. Maybe you're starting off in a brand new relationship with a person that, you know, it's been some time for you, and this is like, what am I gonna, how do I go about this? And some internalized worries or concerns, maybe even with family. Can you tell me more? Tell me more about this energy for my Leo. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Seven of, whew. It's like holding on to one's illusion. What's that meme with the dog in the room and everything's on fire and the dog's like, I'm fine, everything's fine. And it's really not, but you're trying to push through and push it out and just keep going and keep going like it's fine. Spirit saw that and said, no, it's not fine. And if you want to keep being delusional about it, if you want to keep psyching yourself out about it, if you want to keep hoping on for the best of the situation, I'm going to show you why this is not supposed to be a part of your life anymore. And through universe showing you why it's not, it came down in either chaos, tragedy, or I just heard controversy. So for somebody, maybe people were talking about this or talking about, I don't know if you're aware, talking about maybe this tragedy or chaos that you had to go through. Tell me more. Because I really want to see, I understand what you, and there goes the Tower. I love this, I love this, I love this, I love this. Because again, after the storm, here comes the sun. So you went through your Tower moment already. You already lost that home. You already lost that job. You already had an ending. You already had a spiritual death. Now you're just in the wake of it. So let me look at it from a different lens for you, Leo. What is coming after what has came down for Leo when we're in the month of July? Tell me more about this. What is coming in for Leo? We got the Page of Cups in the reverse. We have the Ace of Swords. I don't know if you can see the cards with this light. Sorry if I'm holding them up and you can't see it. And the Moon. This is your wisdom, guidance, and knowledge, and you're starting off on unstable territory. Ooh, this is a little scary. For some of you, this may feel a little frightening right now. No, maybe that's why I was feeling not to necessarily do this reading, because there's nothing scary about this. I feel like you went through the worst. Like that tower has came down. But I also want to be cautious and responsible and let you know that I'm not trying to fearmonger at all. You are fine. You know you're fine. You will be fine. But this is like when you don't have a roadmap, but you're listening to not only your gut, your intuition and your wisdom, God, spirit. You're letting your angels guide and assist you, but you're using your wisdom and knowledge of where you came from and what you've been through, so that way you don't repeat it this time going forward. So you're trying to harness all the tools in your resource to help guide you through this smoke and guide you through this new lane that you're in right now after the storm. But it almost feels like a little bit of directionless. Which way do I go next? Which way do I go next? How do I go about it? How do I get back to where I want to be, or where I need to be, or maybe where I once was? How do I reestablish or rebuild life after the storm? There's a lot of questions here, but even the ideas that we come up with, we may not feel like they're strong enough or stable enough. Maybe we may not feel that they will work. Maybe we feel like it's wishful thinking. But despite that, that doesn't stop you. That doesn't stop you from moving ahead. You know, you can't stay still after the dust has settled from this. So tell me, where is Leo's intuition, spirit, wisdom? Where's this leading Leo as we move throughout July? We got the Seven of Swords, the Death in the reverse. Here, finding the reverse in the Page of Wands. Why is this Death here? The Queen of Swords in the reverse. If by any chance and by any means this does not, well, if it has to deal with the literal death, you may end up hearing from somebody that is surrounding the person or that was involved with that literal death, whether it's that person's mother, family member, maybe somebody that has to deal with funeral arrangements. You may end up hearing from them out of the blue or contacting you about that out the blue. Again, I want to be careful with that. But if it's not in a literal sense, this may be people, situations from whatever just came down, reaching back out to you, trying to pop back up in your life after you already cleared the rebel, after the dust has already been settled. Somebody comes popping back up from your old life, from whatever just ended, wanting to initiate being back in your life, or wanting to initiate or even be curious of what are you doing now, or what do you have now going on, or what are you going to do next. Somebody's wanting to be a little nosy here about what you have going on, or what you're going to do now that you've gotten out of that situation. But because you're in this new energy, it feels like Spirit is telling you to protect it by all means necessary. When you're trying to harness and cultivate a new life experience, you want to protect it, especially in the infancy stage, because that's when the energy is most vulnerable. That's when you're most open and you're able to be attacked by others, whether intentionally or unintentionally, through their opinions, through their critiques, through their ideas, through their opinions, and even just on their own energy. If they're not coming in with good energy, or if they got their own stuff going on, you don't want them to start projecting or putting their ideas onto this new life that you're trying to build for yourself after the smoke has settled. So it is asking you to please, if you can keep it within yourself or the people that you truly trust, about what you're going to do next now that the storm has cleared or that tower has came down. Please only keep it between you and people that you care about. Because I can see whoever this person or people is from your past experience, right? I would say past life, not in a literal sense, but pre-tower coming down, right? That past version of you. Because it does feel like spiritually you went through a full transformation. There's like pre-Leo and post-Leo. That's what I'm looking at. In pre-Leo, those people may want to come back and be nosy in your post-Leo life. So where does Leo end up by the end of this month? Let's see, I want to see where you end up. Where does Leo end up? We got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Woo! You're gonna be unattainable. I would tell you this, don't become vindictive. Don't become resentful. You may get petty, you know, if they go low, you might take it to hell. But the reason why I'm saying this is because this stings. Whatever about this tower that came down for you, and now I go back to the beginning of this reading, full circle moment. How I said it almost felt like astral traveling, you being at your funeral and you seeing who's there and who was by your side and who has your back. In your July, you're gonna be moving on, right? This is you implementing new ideas. Okay, I have a fully flat foundation. I have the world in front of me. I'm starting from ground zero. I have nothing to be able to utilize in this moment, but we're gonna turn dust into magic, right? It's like I'm gonna take the best of what I can and do what I can with it and create something and start rebuilding my life, because it does feel like you're having to rebuild here. And this is you still feeling the sting. That's the best word to say. It's you still feeling the sting of not only this tower that came down, but the people that, or circumstances or situations that were involved in this tower coming down, and how they were or were not there for you. And now even after the tower that it came down, who was there for you and who was not there for you? It's because I'm hearing, I thought we were better than that. I thought it's maybe, you know how sometimes we can place expectations on other people just because we know we wouldn't be that kind of person. It's like, I expect this of you because I know that's what I would do, right? Where we can start to hold people to our own personal standards. There's something here where you thought or you felt like you knew a person or you knew a circumstance better than what it was, and it came to show you that no, not really. No, not really. It took crisis, it took a tragedy, or it took a very uncomfortable ending to realize who's truly in your corner. And this even comes down to family, because I'm kind of side-eyeing your family dynamic here a little bit. You know, not saying everybody, but for somebody specifically, I'm kind of looking at, where was your family at when this tower was coming down? Where were they at for support when you needed it? Or when you were struggling, or you were dealing with financial issues or health issues or career issues or living situation. It's something, it makes me want to side-eye some people around you, Leo. Maybe that's just the protective side of me coming out for y'all. And as you start to plant the new seeds, you are fully going to have a mental Rolodex of who you need in your life going forward, and the boundaries you will implement to protect those people, and the people that you can just say, thank God you were exposed through this tower. Thank God Spirit showed me that you were not meant to be in my life through this situation coming down. Yes, this may have been a tragic situation, but the blessing was that I was able to see clearly that you don't have the best intentions for me, or that you really wasn't there for me. It's like through pain, you really see who was there for you, who got your back. And because of that, as you start to plant your seeds for your new foundation, your energy becomes unattainable. And what happens when you become an unattainable energy, you become very attractive, because like in human nature, people want what they can't have. It's just a given. So the more you're unattainable to these people that have shown their true colors, or situations that have shown their true colors to you, you become more unattainable to them as you start to redevelop your life and rebuild your life in a much stronger, much more dynamic, and a solid way this time around. Really being able to move yourself into creature comforts and a very comfortable life or lifestyle for yourself, whatever that may be, right? Maybe you get the nice home that you're wanting. Maybe you start moving towards that career, or you start moving towards the finances you want. It's a build, it's a process. You're not gonna get there overnight, but I do see you getting there. I'll be honest, I don't see it happening by the end of July, because this is a long process here of you having to rebuild from start zero, you know, from scratch. But as you rebuild, these people are going to want access, but not just them, other people too, because they're going to see that strength. But there's also that magnetism that you have, because when you become unstoppable, when life has showed you tragedy and travesty, and you can overcome it and rebuild, you do become very magnetizing, because there's a level of confidence that people can't take from you. So if you already thought your confidence was something, now just imagine that on a different level. That's how it feels. You're really going to be in your lion energy. Whether you're a lion or a lioness, you're really going to be in that energy. And it's, I'm gonna leave it here because I'm just getting the visual of it. It was of Snoop Dogg when he was getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he was like, I just want to thank me. I want to thank me for this. That's how your energy is. Not from a selfish place, but it's been you against everybody. It's you against the world. Even if that's not how you wanted it to be, that's what it's felt like, and that's the armor that you've taken on. And I do see you will be able to get to the status that you want, but this feels like you're at ground zero, rebuilding from scratch. And you're damn sure making sure that you never, ever, I just feel that it's like, I will never be in this position again. I will never let this happen to me again. I refuse to go through that again. I refuse to have my home taken away from me. I refuse to have to look at my bank account and I'm looking at negatives and I got debt collectors calling me. I refuse to have people in my life that act like they're my friends, but behind my back, they're talking. It's like, there's such a strong refusal that I don't care over hell and high water. You will never go through this again. And I mean it. You are so passionate about, I will never deal with this again. And it feels like you're using that throughout the month of July as fuel to rebuild your life. So this message was for somebody. I'm glad I did listen to my gut and give this. I don't know whoever this connects to. I hope it does make sense for you. I feel like this is probably not going to connect to many people because it does feel very, very specific. But if it does, link in the description box below for a private reading if you would like one. Also too, leave a comment. Let me know if it does connect, and I'll catch you on the next reading. Bye, Leo.